What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Williams Outdoors. Today we're going to be talking about trail cameras, the placement, and which brand of camera I use and why I put them there. So let's head to the woods and check it out. Alright, so we're here at my first camera, quickest one to get to at least. But I'm here, it's right here on the edge of a creek overlooking this big field over here behind me. And I actually put a tree stand right here on the tree next to my camera. The only reason I came over here was that, I wanted to hunt this field. I'd seen some deer sign, but the landowner actually had told me that he had jumped a bunch of does over here one night. So I came over here, decided to put up a camera right here in this spot, overlooking the edge of this field. I know there's a few oak trees going down the creek bank right here, and they were feeding on them acorns during the early season. And there's also a lot of different types of grass and stuff that they like to feed on along the edge of this field and everything. But so I put the camera here. I use the Moultrie A-series cameras. I'm not getting paid to say anything about Moultrie, but I do love these cameras. They're very inexpensive and they work great compared to a couple of the other cameras that are in around the same price range. Very quick to set up, very easy to set up. Hopefully this one hadn't died on me. I know the last time I checked it, the batteries were kind of low on it, which I think the batteries are dead. And it's telling me I got a full SD card. That's a good thing. I hadn't checked these since for about a month now, I guess. So we'll pull this card out. Slide this SD card in. And it's telling me my batteries are low, so I'm gonna swap out the batteries real quick. I figured they were probably dead, but all you gotta do to change these is there's a little eject button right here. See if I can move the camera and show you. There's an eject button right here on the bottom. Push it out. Battery tray comes out, and along with the cheap batteries. Get my camera set back up. Make sure I don't lose any of these old batteries. I don't want to just leave them out here. If I can get these batteries out. There we go. And I will say these cameras do have a great battery life also. I've had these, they take 8 AA's. These batteries have been in here since September, and it is now the end of January. So that's pretty good, as many pictures as I normally get on this camera right here. And there. Then you just slide that back in the bottom. And you'll hear a good click there. Now, see if I can show you, walk you through the setup. On your switch here, it's got off on the bottom, setup in the middle, and then on top. All you gotta do is slide it up to setup, and then you can use your 3 buttons right here on the side. You hit it once and then you can change the hour up or down, minutes up or down, and then there go, hit OK and go to the PM or AM or PM. Then you can select the month, the date, and then the year. Click it again. It's got the delay time. I usually leave mine on no delay, just that way I can see what is there, what direction they're coming. Sometimes if they're close to the camera, you might get their nose, or if it's already just snapped a picture at early detection and then they walk through, you're only going to get a picture of their hind quarters. So then you also have the option of high definition pictures, low definition, high definition with 1 picture, low definition 1 picture, and then video. And you can also mark these cameras. I think this is pretty neat, because if I had another camera set up down the field, you know, it might look like the same area, but 2 different cameras, but you can ID the cameras. It's camera 1, camera 2, and so on. This one's camera 2. You can delay, no, and then you're all set up. So all you gotta do is slide the camera on and it's ready to go. So yeah, setting these cameras up is pretty easy. 3 buttons, you can't really go wrong with that. Moultrie made it very easy and self-explanatory. But as far as placement, I try to place them low enough to where it's going to get good pictures of deer, but also high enough to where I'm not going to have a bunch of pictures of squirrels and deer or raccoons or other animals that I'm not really looking to get pictures of coming in to either just passing through or feeding on these acorns, or even whenever I have corn or other feed out here, I'm not getting a ton of pictures of squirrels, rabbits, and birds. So I place them, I'll stand up next to it. And this all varies on where you're at, but you can see this one's about waist high. Some areas that I place it is going downhill, so I have to place it even lower, and it'll be about at my knee here. But this one here, it's actually going uphill away from this tree, so I was able to place it about waist high. And it's always good too, if you're not sure about aiming the camera. I know Moultrie does have another camera that's very similar to this. The only difference is it actually has a little screen on here that you can set it to preview, and it'll show you what the camera's looking at before you leave the field. These do not. These are a little bit cheaper version of it. I think I paid maybe 70 bucks, 60, 70 bucks for these cameras. And that's about all I run. I absolutely love these cameras. I've never had an issue out of them. Good battery life, easy setup, and very inexpensive. But that way, you know, I'll bring a card reader to the field with me. That way, whenever I place the camera for the first time, I don't leave the camera out here for a week, 2 weeks, or longer, and then come check the camera and find out that I got pictures of the sky or pictures of the ground or something like that. So I'll bring it, put the card in it, set the camera up, walk in front of the camera at a couple of different distances and let the camera get good pictures of me, and then I'll pull the card out and view the pictures real quick on a little handheld card reader. And or they even got the ones that plug into your phone. So I mean, I know everybody carries a smartphone with them most of the time, so you can plug those in, look at the pictures, see exactly if you need to raise the camera, maybe lower the camera, 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to lower the camera. So I'll just take a stick right up here behind the top of it, tighten it down, and she'll be good to go. But let's go check the other cameras. I'll make sure I turn this one back on. Alright, so as you can see with this camera here, I had to put it pretty low. This is the one that we're sloping downhill pretty good right here, and so when the deer were pretty far out, I wasn't getting very many pictures because they were literally walking underneath the frame of the camera. They were, I didn't realize how much it sloped down until I started getting pictures. And also, this camera here, the tree that it's on, is sloping backwards. So, like I said before, I solved that. I just take a little small stick behind the top of it right here, and tighten it down. She's good to go. So, let's see what we got on this one. Hopefully some good stuff. Hopefully the batteries aren't low. Still got 43%, so we're good on that one. Cut it off. Pull the card. Okay. I'm really interested to see how many pictures we actually have on these cards. I usually check them every week, every 2 weeks, but with work and everything, I just hadn't been able to come out here and check them. And that's life. So, we'll see, go through the setup, make sure everything, the date and the time's still good. Which it is not. Alright, now we're good. I think this was one of the other cameras the batteries had died in, and I changed it and forgot to reset the date and the time, so took care of that problem now. But another tip I can give you as far as the placement of your cameras is, one, make sure you scout the area. You don't want to just say, oh, this will be a good spot, put the camera up, come back later and check the camera and you don't have any pictures of anything but maybe a couple of birds or squirrels, and that's it. I've done it before. It's not fun. So this area here, we're pretty far back on the property here at the farm, but I've noticed on this trail that there were a couple of scrapes along the edges, and I was seeing really good deer tracks and stuff, so I knew I wanted to get over here and see what I could find. And during deer season last year, I actually came over here after one of my morning hunts to scout and ended up jumping a bunch of deer up there at the top of the trail. So I made sure this year I had a stand over here that I could hunt. It's actually right over here behind my shoulder. and I'll show you that here in a second. But got it set up, cleared out a couple little shooting lanes, limbed up some trees. Got a really good view out of the stand. Actually saw a few deer out of the stand this year, but nothing worth taking. Maybe a little spike and a couple does, but I know there's a big boy in here somewhere, because I see his rubs and see the scrapes that are being made, and I've got some really decent bucks on camera. So hopefully we'll get something this following year over here. But if you'll see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but the sun is actually over here, coming down. It's about 2:20 in the afternoon. But the way the sun is, it rises over here and it follows along, and then it comes back down over here. So that goes along with your stand placement and your camera placement. I don't want my camera facing the sun, because in the mornings or in the afternoons you're going to get a lot of glare in your camera, and it may even take pictures of the tree limbs moving with the wind, or with the or worse, you have deer walking by but the sun's right in the camera, so you don't get good photos. They're just whited out because of the sun glare. So what I always try to do is face my camera towards the north. It also goes with your stand placement. You know, whenever you're hunting the stands, I mean, it's not perfect. It's not every situation that you can work with the sun. There's some spots you just kind of have to bear with the sun in your eyes, or vice versa. But I always try to place my stand somewhat facing the north, if I can, if I'm able to. That way I'm not getting beat to death, you know, early in the morning or later in the afternoon. I don't want to be sitting here with the sun in my eyes the whole time. Makes it very difficult, so I always try to have the sun at my back if I can. That way, too, if a deer does walk out in front of you, it's harder for them to see, because they don't want to look in the sun either. So, but that's 2 cameras that I have out here. I actually have a third, but I let the landowner run it. He's been running it for me, sending me pictures of some turkeys and stuff, so that's awesome. Really excited about this year's turkey season. So let's go back to the truck. We'll throw the cards in the camera, go through the pictures, and see what we got. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody learned something. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the video, maybe more content that I can do. Hopefully here soon we'll have some more squirrel hunting, predator hunting, and of course turkey hunting coming up in March. So look forward to bringing y'all some more footage. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like and comment below and subscribe. Thanks for watching.